I want to kick off by asking you to walk us through how you see the investment case from the region specifically, because we're talking about petrodollar economies. But it seems to me, covering this region over the last decade, that they've been quite prescient in getting in climate change and sustainability investing early on.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's very interesting. When you think about climate change related risk, you have a lot of systemic risk, obviously, because the transition to a lower carbon economy will change consumer preferences. It will change how we consume energy as end consumers. However, it will also pose country risks to petrostates, because obviously it can affect their entire economy. Interestingly enough there, when you think about initiatives like the One Planet initiative of President Macron, the founding members of those initiatives are actually sovereign wealth funds of petrostates. So they are very well aware of this issue.
So you've got the petrostate economies backing you in these types of investments. What else looks interesting to you today? What are the things that the investor needs to know?
The thing is, what's very important for the investor to understand, that climate-related risks and opportunities can be viewed in a very similar way than interest rate risks or opportunities. So you have very tangible data points, things like carbon emission intensity or embedded fossil fuel reserves within your portfolio, that you can shift your allocation to and shift your allocation accordingly to be more robust for a transition to a lower carbon economy. And those data points and the availability of those data points is a complete shift in mindset on how you can change the portfolio structures.
No doubt about it. I think Maddie has a question.
Yeah, how much more, though, could corporates be doing? Are we seeing corporates like miners, those, of course, in fossil fuels, really doing enough to appease people like yourselves that are looking at ESG investments?
That also completely depends on which energy company you would be looking at. So first of all, the transition to a low-carbon economy will not happen overnight. So coal demand peaked already 5-6 years ago. Oil demand will likely peak mid-20s, and gas demand will likely peak mid-30s. So it's not a big shift which will happen overnight. However, when you analyze certain companies, you can see, if you look at the amount of R&D spent towards renewables, that there are big discrepancies of the awareness between current incumbents. So there will be winners and losers going forward. And those are the things investors have to be in the lookout for, that they're on the right side of this equation.